Welcome, everybody. My name is Justin Harris. Welcome to my Monday Musings. All right, I'm going to get into it because I've ridden my bike so much and I'm so tired and I actually got a headache and stuff. But what we're going to talk about today, sound a little Canadian. What we're going to talk about today is the boring stuff, the boring training. So, what do I mean by the boring stuff? Well, let me go to other sports because in endurance sports, it becomes really easy um, to make, I don't know, connections that maybe we shouldn't be making. But if we look at other sports, skill sports, there's a lot of basics that the professionals, no matter how good they are, always come back to. So if we look at golf, driving range, chipping, and putting, all right, those three aspects: how to grip the club, the face of the club, the ball speed, everything. We can get really technical now in golf. All right. Basketball, foul shooting. Where's your hand at? Right. Um, where's your hand in relation? Kobe used to do a lot of stuff. Everyone does it. Dribbling, handling, two things at the same time, crisscrossing, right? Soccer, touch, everything about the touch. All right. So there's a lot of different sports and there's a lot of boring stuff. Now, when I coach runners, for sprinters, it was like acceleration, like getting out of the blocks, starting from zero speed and whatnot. And when I worked at the Olympic Training Center, I would spend time on drills that were meant for middle school kids. They were called wall drills. And so it's just about like the static position and how to make the angle in order to like feel comfortable. But where was your knee? Where was your ankle? Where was your hips? And we're talking in all three planes, your shoulders, were you bent? Were you rounded? Were you tight? Right? Whatever it was. And I would do these basics with people because if you can't do the basics in a static place, then you can't do them on the dynamic places. In endurance sports, that's some of our bread and butter. Now, yes, we can go back to thinking about, like drills, form drills, sprint drills, stuff like that. And they can be helpful. But as an endurance athlete, I'm really talking about just aerobic training. The boring stuff is aerobic training. The boring stuff is the structure, doing the same thing week in and week out, same structure. Changing just a little bit of the nuance year in and year out. I have some athletes, like we've run 4 marathons together and it's been roughly the same structure plan, maybe some deviations. And I've gotten people to improve like 15, 20 minutes over, 2-3 years. Right. So this is all inspired because when I listen to Steve Magnus or see his writing and this one guy on X, Alan Cousins, who I don't know what country he's from, but he's like a super technical sports physiologist and trainer and coach. And he uses lots of data and advanced statistics and different stuff like that. And people are always asking him questions about like, how do I improve this? How to improve that? And he's like, be really metabolically efficient. Okay, so that's Z1. So lots of walking, lots of movement into Z2. That's the whole foundation. People think foundation is like, oh, I'm going to spend 6 weeks building this. How about 6 years? All right. And he said, in order to get good, figure out the structure and schedule that works for you, and then just rinse and repeat and be boring about it. So, with all that said, because I'm keeping it a little shorter tonight, is we get too caught up in the sexy shit. We get too caught up in it. We get caught up in HIIT. We get caught up in HIIT plus hills. We get caught up in strength. We get caught up in this and that and whatever it is. We get caught up in classes and whatever and changing things all over the place because we don't understand what it means to really train and to be fit over a long period of time. We think about exercising, moving things all over the place. I get it. I've been there with stuff, okay? However, if you want long-term success and to perform at your optimal, you have to get really good at doing the boring stuff. Sleeping well, hydrating, eating well. having a lower stress life. So that means creating boundaries, families and friends, work. Okay. That means not trying to be the perfect student. All right. Lots of stuff there. Stress. What do you say yes to? What do you say no to? These are really big things. Okay. So it's doing the boring stuff over and over and over and over again. To lose weight, it's like eat boring shit. Keep it super simple. And some of us, like myself, when it comes to losing weight or, coaching it or whatever, it's like you just got to do the boring stuff. And a lot of people don't want to do that, but they want the results. And so then that's when we start taking shortcuts. So if you want to be good, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, do the boring shit. Do the boring stuff. Rinse and repeat, structure, change little things, smaller bites. As I tell people, this ain't fine. This ain't, buffet, going into a buffet hungry. This is fine dining. Everything's curated with a good coach. You're not just getting slammed with it. It seems like, hey, that was really good, but I don't know why. Because every little ingredient was thought about. So instead of a wine, I have a strawberry banana recovery drink after my ride. And I might get I realized I might get a milky mustache. Saved. So I'm curious, what do you think the boring stuff is? What boring stuff do you have a tough time with? So I'm thinking about what do you have a tough time being consistent with? What do you struggle with doing things that you feel are too beginner or too novice for you? Because we all get there with certain shit. And what are your Memorial Day plans? It's looking like kind of crummy weather and rain. But anyway, so I'm curious. What's up, Claudia? What's up, Tryron? Nick. Tryron, are you Nick or Nicole? I see Nick, O-L-E. Curious. What's up, Charles? What's up, Roberto? What's up, Karina? What's up, you guys? What's up, Elliot? What's up, Karina? What's up, Nazreen? What's up, Callan? Okay, so Nazreen, what do you struggle with? So Claudia, struggling, the basic stuff to steady state. Yeah, it's just like kind of locking in. I would say steady state is a kind of a challenging place to be. Those can definitely be hard. Nazreen, Sunday bike session. So neuromuscular bike leg speed. Either you love it or you hate it with me. We do it a lot. But it is a key to what we're doing. It's a training zone that most people only touch on once in a blue moon, and we do it every week. And moving to San Francisco. Yeah, I know that's been challenging for you. My strongest self. What's up, my strongest self? Talking about doing the boring stuff. And if we think about careers too, it's like doing the boring stuff. Like the experts are the ones who can do the boring basic stuff better than anyone. They know when to do it, how to do it. They know the reason why it's there, historical context of it. You just know everything. How do you make an easy run less boring? Get headphones out of your ears and pick an interesting course. Go in the woods. It's always interesting. Or listen to a podcast. Stop listening to Peloton classes and pump up music and everything's in your ear because it's all about intensity and whatever. Not all the time, but I would say just be with yourself. Think. You're all interesting people. Minnie and the Pets. That's such a cool name. Karina. El Gato Casando, Roberto. What's not boring is the new look. Yeah, yeah. This is kind of a look. Wifey wanted a mustache. I wanted to do something different with my hair after like a decade, and I just took a shower, so it's like looking a little slick back. I don't know. I think I'm like either ready to do some plumbing or make a pizza. Not sure. So, Corinna, I'm keeping my heart rate low enough on the easy workouts. Yeah, again, it's understanding the basics and like why this stuff is happening. And once you understand it, okay, Corinna. So like it's like practicing putting or whatever it is. Maybe for me putting as you actually no, when we played my putting was I think I think I did better there than my irons, which usually doesn't happen. But there's some things: driver, irons, approach shots, sand, bunker, putting. Like there's something there that is like the basics, and it's like the key to you either staying where you're at or getting much better or being able to hang with better people more consistently, whatever it is, right? And so it could be anything. I think a lot of people it's keeping the heart rate low on the easy workouts. But again, it's like design. Like I don't pick a hilly course when I'm trying to ride, like really have a recovery or easy or aerobic day. I don't pick a mountain. I don't like, I just pick a boring loop. I go out on my rail trail. I go out and back on it. But sometimes I like try to make it a little bit more interesting. But it's like, if we're look, we make fun of and pick on young people for being on TikTok and Snapchat and all this shit. And we barely can do a 30 minutes to run or ride and not complain about like, this is boring. Right. So we're in this kind of dopamine, like death loop. And so how do you get to be more serotonin, more long term, right? Whether it's finite or infinite, these are all like kind of similar overlapping things. But yeah, trying to find a place where like how can you reframe it to so that you can enjoy it. Because if you're always saying this sucks, it's always going to suck. It's never ever going to get the boring stuff, the basic stuff, never going to get better. And I guess it's until you realize like you need to do it differently and wake up. And I'm not picking on you, Corinna, on this. It just like brought me to a new point. So uh yeah, yeah. Nazarene, well said. Glad you guys are looking this. Boring stuff equals basics. Do the basics well. The hard shit becomes fun. Yeah, and like they show time and time again, like successful people in whatever domain are the ones who like last. I'll try around. Nicole, what's up, Nicole? Um, if you can just last longer than everyone else, you're going to be better because a lot of people attrition. They kind of knock themselves out. So, Christy, plumber for sure. Yeah, I'd probably make more money. Roberto, I think you look like you're about to challenge John L. Sullivan for the bare knuckle boxing championship. Is that like gangs in New York? I'm looking it up. I don't know. I don't know the reference. Yeah. I need a little bit more. I'm not doing that. I'm not that committed. What's up, Justin? I volunteered. Yes. Anyway, but I'm curious, like, Corinna, what is it for you in the golf, like, that you always come back to and it helps you either get out of a slump, it makes you, brings you back? Like, what is it, like a drill you did as a kid? It was a drill or a routine or framing that you did in high school or college? Peaky Blinders, yeah. If I showed you guys, I can't show you. My passport photo is hilarious. It's I grew a mustache for something. It wasn't like no shave November, but it was for something, and it was even thicker than this. I mean, it was like real thick, and I don't like anything over my lip. I mean, I'm not trying to make this about me, and my facial hair. But my hair was like definitely something. And anyway, if you're ever around me, I'll show you. It is hilarious. And I had to go somewhere, and so I had to get the passport on short notice. So I had to take the picture, and they don't let you do glasses at the time. I don't know if that's still the thing. I had to go to Berlin for something for bobsled quick, and yeah. So when I traveled to like Europe and Korea and all over the place, like people just stare at the, you know, look back and forth. It's pretty funny. All right, grip alignment, posture, tempo. Okay, so grip. So how you're gripping the club, alignment. What are you talking about? Alignment, like your stance at the ball, where the ball is between your legs. Alignment of club face, posture. Yeah. So and tempo. Yeah. So right. Do you enjoy that work? Do you enjoy going back to all those pieces? Yeah, all the yeah. So it's all nuance, right? So on aerobic run, I don't listen to any music. I don't do anything when I run. For cycling, I do because I'm out there, you know, much longer, 2 hours to 5 hours if I'm by myself. And so I just reflect, like, did I say something I shouldn't have to someone? Am I upset with something? Um, what do I want to write in my newsletter? Like whatever. I just think about everything. But I'm always thinking about like my foot, like in cycling or running, like where is the pressure? Like like a lot of my cadence, like I'm like just trying to feel it. So it's like, it's not meditative, but it's like, where am I at okay, where am I feeling the pressure on the bike? Where am I feeling the pressure? Like, where's the force? Do I feel like I'm losing the force in my body? So like the slower stuff is an opportunity to like scan your body, check in. And if you're listening to music and you're jamming out and rock and rolling, it's I think you lose the opportunity to really connect with yourself. And if most of us aren't doing this, to win the Olympics or, make money. Sorry, pop everyone's bubble. But we're trying to do it to get healthier, to perform better, to live longer, like all these great things, and to enjoy life. And so try to enjoy every part of it. It's like the craft of it. I'm gonna I'm gonna post something. One of my friends shared this thing, this sculptor. I forget his name, and I gotta find it. But the guy sculpts in the UK. He builds rock sculptures in tidal pools. So it's like a really flat tidal pool. So he's got like, I think he's got like 6 hours or 4 hours. And so he builds these like really intricate, like balanced pieces and not like current or Karens, not like that, like on the trail to say like a big circle, with like lots of little pieces in a complete sphere. And then the tide comes in and wrecks it and gone. And then he comes back to the base and he comes back again and again and he does it. And it's just like the first time I saw it, I was like, it's fucking mind numbing. Like, why would you sign up to do that? And the reason why I talk about this stuff, doing the boring stuff in the basics, I hated aerobic running. I hated it in high school and most of college, especially on the roads. Like, guys would pick it up, we'd stop talking, and turn into a race. Like, I don't want to, I want workouts and races. Like, that's time to like push. Um, not that I didn't do it, right? I didn't know any better, or sometimes I wanted to like go faster than the person next to me, but most of the time I ran slow. Most of the time I ran with the ladies. And maybe if I had this mustache, who knows? Holla at me. But yeah, it was just like, I did not enjoy that stuff, right? And for me, why I talk about this all the time from like a physiological standpoint, a metabolic standpoint, is to get you really understand the why, because I knew it helped me, but I didn't enjoy it. That's why I did low volume, and I don't know, it took me a while to hit my capacity. So yeah, so it's just all these things come into place. So Callan, for me, I like to see how far I can hit my driver, but what makes me better at golf is short game, chipping and putting, right? Practicing that isn't as fun as hitting pops. Yeah. So I start with an iron at the driving range. I used to start with the driver, but now I start with an iron. My fave guy, something, or I'll start with 3 and then go to 7 and then I go to my driver. And but if I got 3 balls left, I'm smashing driver. And they never go as far as like when I'm relaxed and like good technique. I'm getting a little tired and I try to swing as hard as I can and it doesn't work, right? But yeah, in golf, it's chipping and putting. This is why I like teaching my wife to do it. Like I'm like, you're starting with your 7-iron, and she's like really receptive. And I'm not trying to be bossy. And it's like 7-iron. Just get used to hitting this club, like the irons, and get used to it. Like everyone wants to hit it far, but can you hit the ball where you want? And so first, you know, bit was like contact. You know, we went a couple times a couple years ago, and then last year we went a little bit more. I'm like, okay, contact. Now we're going to like the sim. You know, we went twice this year in the winter, and then we went, you know, like driving range a few times, and we haven't played on the golf course yet in real grass. But I'm just like, get comfortable, like knowing that you can make contact with all your clubs, and then it's like, okay, we're going for this flag. It's all the stuff my dad did for me. And then okay, direction. All right, like what club, you know, and like we're like just general direction. We're good, right? And so it's about these things. Yeah, you can make wedges, chipping, and putting practice fun. Yeah, I lived on a golf course. I would make a little cocktail. I'd go out with my dog, and the course was done. You know, it'd be like 6:30. You know, and they weren't letting anyone out, and I'd walk out onto it. It was a college golf course, and it was a little par 3-ish guy. No, it was more than that. There's some fours, but short fours. Those would be a par 3 where I played with you, Karina. But I would just go with my P wedge, my pitching wedge, and I would just drink and I would like play 3 balls and it'd be like, which one can I get closer or whatever it is. And it's just like little things. So how do you do this with running, right? The joke in running was like the shirt that people would wear at track meets and stuff was like, my sport is your sport's punishment. Like, ooh, yeah. Like, yeah, this is why people don't want to do it in high school as a kid. It sucks. It hurts. But that's why it took me so long to make that connection was like, I need to appreciate every bit of this, of my craft. It's my art. And my body is my instrument. And I need to tune into it. So I think that's cool. Yeah, wedges are my favorite. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I could see that. You guys are really good with that. Yeah, like target practice. Yeah, with the guy picking up the golf balls in the cart. Claudia, I'm always thinking about a certain running drill and it helps me realign and assesses. I keep coming back to it and at all states so far, whether green zone, yeah. I get in tune with myself, on all of them. Like when it gets really hard, like where's my technique? Am I just doing it to get sloppy? And if you look at Olympic runners, like the best runners in the world, they look great. The best cyclists, they're super smooth. Best triathletes, super smooth. Best swimmers, super smooth. Like I remember reading this piece of research. So I did my master's thesis on the skeleton sprint start. So the ones that go face first down on the ice, and how far did they place their feet? And they had like all these different kinds of way. It wasn't like standardized. And so I was like looking at well, track and field has research. So I keep talking about it. I look at track and field. How do you set up your blocks, whatever. I'm talking to one athlete who swam, and he's like, oh, swimmers, there's 2 starts. There's a grab start, which both feet are on the end, and then there's a track start. And now everything's track start because they put a kick plate on there before they didn't have it. So it's like technology evolved. So I'm looking at stuff, and I remember they had elite and sub-elite. So sub-elite were like college athletes or just off the national team. And they were measuring how far that they would jump off the block with grab start, 2 feet, like basically imagine 2 feet at the edge and, it curled over, and then you're just pushing off with both. Or track, you only got one, but you can like leverage yourself out there. So they looked at all these biomechanics, like all these metrics, like how far did they get out? How many times where did they come up for their first stroke? Like how far did they glide? What was their 25 time, 50? Like they looked at everything. And they found that there wasn't a real big difference between the starts for this piece of research. Although the track start was faster. So when my skeleton athletes wanted to start with 2 feet on the block, I showed them that research. Because when I looked at it, there was like 9 pieces of research with skeleton, and there's like thousands in swimming, right? So sometimes we can cross-pollinate here some concepts or theories, right? But the biggest difference was between elite athletes and sub-elite athletes was the elite athletes had more variance, but they like in the dive, like they were flatter, sometimes they're up, but they always took their first stroke at like the same place. So they knew like how to glide a little further, like they intuitively embodied that, like those differences, and probably didn't even think of it in their head. But the sub elites like had more variance between the two. So the elites between the two different start styles like made them the same, ended up, right? And so that's the difference for me in any realm, is the difference between a beginner and an expert is the expert can do many different things and they all feel, or look very similar, but they're nuanced. I mean, I hear golfers talk or basketball, like when they're really talking about the craft and the nuance, it's like it blows my mind. So yeah, when you're thinking about, all these things, but if you have no clue how things feel on aerobic run, you're going to be fucking clueless on VO2 max. Yeah, Callan, put out rings, hula hoops, nets, etc. What's up, Allison? What's up, Debbie? What's up, Suzanne? What's up, Kelly? New slogan for Jay Harris coaching. I don't want to do this. This sucks. It hurts. Well, this is why my motto is like, chop wood, carry water. Do hard shit, in a certain way. And the hard shit is not like going harder. It's often like pulling yourself back a little bit more. But again, like I don't talk about this too much, but a lot of my philosophy is based on like the hard lessons I had to learn. And I remember having this conversation with Matt. We are talking about like how all us coaches are always like, we got to pull the reins on people and they're not happy or whatever. And he's like, yeah, well, like we've spent 20 years of messing shit up and getting hurt, getting sick, getting injured. We're just trying to get people to not have that same trajectory, right? So, Claudia, I think of Allison Felix during Threshold and VO2 max. She's crazy smooth in my eye. Yeah. To think about someone else and embody them and how they would act, feel, look, whatever, is a massive psychological benefit. Like spending money. Like if someone, like you're bad at spending money, but they're good at saving money. Instead of being like, what would I do? And I want, this hurts. You just be like, I want to be like Jimmy. Jimmy doesn't spend his money and he's so good at saving. So I'm going to be like Jimmy. I'm just going to try to act like Jimmy. Right. So this is why I like watching videos. Like you can watch a video and then go out and run and like try to feel those positions. What's up, Sanjita? I don't know, Allison. Not sure why you can't see the comments. They should be popping up. But thanks for joining us. We got a good crew here. What's up, Matthew? So we're talking about doing the basic stuff, the boring stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, maybe. Sorry. So people commented and they keep commenting. So maybe you join on after, and I'm just working slowly reading some stuff. So that's a good point out, Kelly. Allison, I'm excited to start the marathon training plan. My goal is to push hard and improve a lot, but not get injured. Allison, oh, you see them now. Okay, cool. Allison, what marathon train plan are you talking about? The New York City marathon plan? Allison Felix, she put up a recent video of her doing drills on a tread. Bah, just so elegant. Yeah. Yep. Thousands of hours of looking at video, technique, natural ability, strength. It's just like you said today, like butter. Oh, Bay State. Yeah, yep. Cool. Yeah, so I'll give a little like caveat right now about the training plan. Like, and some of my clients, I got a bunch of several marathon people and someone who, Corinna, who did the group challenge. You're probably going to be surprised at how much I'm going to say, like, relax, like, don't push yet, don't push yet, don't push yet. So you really want to be progressive into the plan. It'll build. I really kind of try to focus on speed early on for like 6 weeks and slowly build up the long run. But it's like if you slam into it and do more, you're going to not have any gas left or budget left to like do the hard stuff when we need to do it. What's up, Judith? So you want to be really patient And the hard stuff for you might not be like pushing and grinding it out. It might be like sleeping 30 minutes more a night, hydrating better, eating a little bit better, educating your, like buying into what I'm saying a little bit more, trusting the process a little bit more. We've delivered results. And if you listen, I know we can do it. We've done some big things with one-on-one coaching. But I found in group coaching, some people listened, some people really did not. And there was a few people in the middle. So yeah, we're talking about doing the basics, which feels like boring stuff that's under us, stuff we're more too advanced for, and going from there. 100% staying patient really works. I crushed my PR and felt good. So good by the time I got to the final miles. Yeah. So Karina is the one who was in the group challenge, and she asked great questions, and she trusted the process. She did it. She even dealt with traveling. You got sick for a while, and you really listened. And so what probably felt, I'm curious how it felt like when you were sick, and wondering like, did you feel like you were far behind, Karina? I'm curious. Probably like, oh, this PR is off or whatever. But the key thing is if you can be healthy, then you can be consistent. If you can be consistent, then you can gain confidence. If you can gain confidence, then you'll be more relaxed to problem solve and to figure it out. Because our goal as coaches and training plans is like create bumper rails, all right, so that you can knock down at least a pin. It's your job to hit a strike, right? A good student. It's all right. Food student. I love it. No, yeah, good student. So, and again, it's not about like you have to do everything A plus, but getting there. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, feeling like you're behind, but and then Corinna crushed it. Felt good. Was progressive, and then PR by 9 minutes in a half marathon. I was so worried about hitting the goal paces, but it was on point. Yeah. Yeah. Again, I want to be transparent. Not everyone had as good of a, like a PR stuff, but a lot of people had a lot of good things to say. So that's why we're rolling it to the marathon. And I'm going to be honest with everyone. The marathon is like walking a tightrope more than a half marathon. Like I'm going to be pretty, I don't want to say firm, but like fuck around and find out. Like if you don't listen, we're on a razor's edge. Like so many things can go wrong. There's always a little hiccup, but like, if you have confidence, you're going to know that you're in good hands, and we're going to guide you, and we're going to give you advice. We can't solve everything for you. It's impossible, but we're going to try to set you up to you make some good decisions. So anyway, yeah. So what are we doing for Memorial Day? Any big plans in the Northeast of New York? It looks like a lot of rain, but and cold. Like today's 92 degrees. I think it's going to be like the high of 50 or something on the weekend. Or if you have any general questions, I'm going to hang out for another 10 minutes. Okay. So any questions that pop up that you're curious about, training, anything about me personally, I'm pretty much an open book. I'm just curious if anyone saw the podcast I was on, Healthy Talks or Health Talks and City Walks. It's actually I really enjoyed that one. It's in my profile somewhere. Working. Yeah. Debbie, I just did Farmer's Hour. Where were you? Yeah, I sold my gravel bike to a friend. I didn't want to do it, but I did it. And so I was out for Farmer's Daughters. I got 85 miles in. I did Poughkeepsie to Rhinebeck on the back roads, stopped at Bread Alone, over Kingston Rhine Cliff, through the new trail that goes like to the Brickyard, down, which is like super nice. New Paul's Gardner on the rail trail, and then back through Marlboro. But did you have a good time? How was it? It was warm. It got warm. We're not used to that warmth yet. 11:30, I was like, I was starting to get hot. I have a couple tea times booked, hoping weather gets better. Yeah, me too, buddy. Cal, when are we going to go play? And and then we got to get all of us out. All right. Yes, Kelly's got her big long ride for Eagle Man 70.3, 60 miles, baby. Hopefully it's not wet by you. I don't think it's going to be. That's a big long ride for, you race 56. We're going to go ride 60. Maybe run off the bike. See how she's feeling. It's like your body just knows that it progresses on the journey into the day you need it to go smooth. Yeah. Yeah. Training plan is to ask questions and to figure things out and to fail a little bit and to learn and to grow. And then race day, like hopefully, like a lot of those pieces, a lot of those pieces come together for my clients. I love seeing it. So, Suzanne, can you send me the information for the team training for New York City, please? Yeah. It's honestly, it's on teamopers.com. I'll just say it now, and then I'll find you in the DM. Just DM me that question. I think you sent me something. I haven't gone through all my Instagram stuff, but just DM me that, and I'll send you the link. But what we're doing is, forget the exact start date, maybe July 9th or something like that. But it's a 16-week plan, marathon training plan, guided by myself and Ryan Hopkins, strength coach, phenomenal strength coach. And so all the strength is geared towards the marathon runner. It's not like blast you hour long. Like the focus is running and the strength is there to be supportive and to learn some new things. But we're going to go 16 weeks. It's a really good price. Really good price. There's some exciting things that are going to be popping up about it. They did a really good job with this one. We keep evolving and growing. So it's a private network where you can ask questions, and the New York City Half group was really chatty and awesome and supportive, and I think it was a big deal. It was awesome to see. And then we have weekly call. It'd be something like this. I mean, I always like educate. So there's a presentation, I teach you something, and then I do Q&A, and it's about an hour long. And we do that every week for 16 weeks. So you'll learn something. So DM me. Yeah, no gravel bike. I had my Cervelo A5. I didn't love it at first, and it took me a little while to figure it out. There was a couple measurements that were a little different. And then I finally got it set up like the exact rig I want. And one of my best friends, a year ago today, like last month, he big motorcycle rider, myself as well. We in COVID, we go out 5-6 hours and just like cruise back roads, get lost, like beautiful. Western Connecticut, the Catskills. And yeah, he was commuting and car turned and he hit it and flew 100 feet and almost died. Yeah, really scary. And so he's retired now and different stuff. He's okay now, but he wanted a new bike. And I was like, yeah, try mine. Like he hasn't had a new one in a while, a lot of different technology. And he's like, I love it. I'll buy it. And I was like, no, but he was able to get a good deal. So yeah, it was so hot. Yeah. And especially out there, like, yeah, like the open roads and like dirt and climbing, it's just like you can feel the heat. I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, these people must be cooking. And not everyone's in good shape for that. So Debbie did laps around Lake Warmog, thought of you. Oh, yeah. You guys know each other too? You guys know everybody. Tomorrow, Green Zone will be hot. Yes. So that means you're going to be slow. It's all good. Yeah, we should do a ride out in Connecticut all together. Let's do it. Claudia, we're in the city this weekend. It's going to rain after a long run. I'm especially chasing T-Man. Tommy. Maybe taking the line. Oh, that'd be cool. Base day is 2 weeks prior. Will all the info be available 2 weeks prior to the official start? So we're finalizing all the details. Allison. So, yeah. I didn't want to go further than 2 weeks because then it's like the conversations that we're having, for the people, it's like geared towards the New York City Marathon. And then we're allowing people 2 weeks after, 2 weeks before, any, basically 2 weeks plus or minus to do it, because you start getting out and it's like I'm talking about one thing and the training's here and like you're in a different place and it's not really landing. So yeah, we're getting all the details. It's May and a lot of the things have been squared away. And so, yeah, more and more details will be coming out. So yeah. Anyway, all right. I'm going to get to bed. I don't feel great. But I appreciate you all. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for engaging. If anything pops up for you, you can DM me, ask me some questions, whatever. But I appreciate you coming. Monday Musings are generally 8:30-ish because I do bike rides. Get home like 7:45, shower up, and I'm on here. In the future, grab a glass of wine, join me. This was my drink this week. But appreciate you all. Thanks for joining. And yeah, I'll see you out there. Don't hesitate. And if you haven't yet, join my newsletter. It's a free newsletter that is a less than 5-minute read about the art of training, all my experience, wisdom, all that stuff kind of pocketed into things I see with my clients. I send out the 1st to 15th. I know I didn't do it the 15th. I think I missed 5 of them in 3 years. Kind of been working on some other projects in the back end that I'm going to be bringing out for my one-on-one clients first. Like Justin LLM. You can ask questions and you get my insight geared towards whatever you're talking about. I'm excited about that. And then I have another app, some different stuff going off. But anyway, have a good one. Later. Nighty night. I told my wife, if she doesn't like this mustache, she got to tell me because I don't want to get tan. Could you imagine me? I get tan with a mustache and then you shave it and then, yeah, not happening. All right. Night. Bye, guys.